guys. It's episode 126, and theoretically, this one uploads smoother than 125.
Hey.
Whatever.
I'm back from Vegas.
Diana has returned!
I will make the tech behave.
I don't know why. I'm just cursed.
I can't do anything about it, actually. If it magically works when I'm around, great. I don't know. I seem to have a healing tech aura.
I'll listen. For all the things to go wrong, at least it's stuff that I understand how to fix. It's just a very long process to do the fixing. So it's not like one of those quick fixes. It's a lot of sit and wait.
Yeah.
Because it's an exporting and uploading where we had problems this past week. So that was a thing. We are technically a knitting podcast coming to you from the Canadian prairies here in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I'm Jocelyn. My co-host is
Diana.
And we're back to just us old two folks.
I know. So boring. It's
helpful because I'm at a loss when you're not here because I don't know how to say the things you normally say because I'm quite programmed. At this point, 126 episode in, I am very uncomfortable telling people what we're going to cover this week. It just, whoa.
That's okay. I'd be seriously uncomfortable trying to do the intro.
Yes, but I do have to be careful because if I'm not when we're out in public doing things because we're programmed, you just reply without thinking.
I do. I really do.
And I have to go, wait, no, don't use those words in that sequence. Bad combo. You're not sitting in front of a camera right now. This is my life, people. All right, do you want to let everybody know what we're going to cover this week?
Yeah.
Minus all the sidebars and segues and random ramblings I get
We've been sidebarring and segueing for an hour already.
You were gone for like 2 weeks.
This is true. We have so much to catch up on. This week we have What's in Our Cup, Cool Threads, Woolly Workings, Yarn on the Go, Wool Gathering, Kniterature, and Events.
Yeah, it's weird coming out of my mouth. I prefer it when you say it. Which is terribly funny, so that's okay. Hey, I managed. We survived. Diana's returned, and that's all that matters, guys.
It's all good.
All right, shall you cover what's in your cup? Because you have 2, and I only have 1.
I do have 2. So I've got still half a glass of some sea buckthorn cherry iced tea, which is quite excellent. There's no sugar in this?
No sugar.
This is really good tea.
I know. It's from, that's that tea store that was in Saskatoon. Tea Mate? No, that's in Osborne. Tea Desire? I want to say Tea Desire.
You're the one that goes to Saskatoon.
My mommy bought it for me. I'll go look at the label afterwards. We'll make sure to link that in the show notes.
Yeah.
Because they're online ordering. So
nice.
you can order it. So, the other thing that we're both drinking is my brother-in-law stopped at the LC, which, if you don't live in the province of Manitoba, you might not be aware. If you're going to buy adult beveraging, it has to be done at a licensed store. You can't just do it anywhere. So for us, that is the Liquor Mart. And he knows that I like vanilla porters for beers. And he found that one that Diana's currently holding up.
Yeah.
I don't know what the company name is.
Mill Street Brewery. That's out of Toronto, as far as I know.
Cool.
I've had this before, and I love it. It is one of my favorite beers, so I'm quite happy to be sharing it with you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not a huge drinker, but I'm no longer on medications that mean I can't drink at all. So now I can have the occasional beverage. And they CO2 tab carbonate, which means I'm not allergic to it.
Excellent.
Shocking thread. If you use dextrose as priming sugar in your beer, I can't drink it, guys. Dextrose is corn sugar.
Yep.
There you go. Day's full. You've learned something.
Diana's drinking.
Diana's drinking out of the can. I'm drinking out of my Knit City mug.
Because we're classy people.
I didn't want to dirty another mug.
It's totally fine.
I just finished my coffee.
Do you even have pint glasses?
Nope.
Okay, well, then it doesn't matter because you don't even have the proper glasses, so whatever.
I drink so rarely. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
To be honest, if I get those wine glasses, I'm getting the ones without the stem and colored so I can see them.
Good call.
But
plus fancy.
If we're honest, it's probably just going to be out of mugs. Because that's the kind of human I am. Remember, I don't drink often enough to make it a deal.
Yeah.
If I drank enough, then sure it would make sense to own that kind of glassware. Because you'd have it around for things, so not really.
Chris and I are pretty into fancy beers, so we've got like a whole set of like all the proper glasses.
Which would make sense, because you guys definitely are into it.
It's very important to drink your beer out of the proper glass. I don't actually care. It just looks fancy.
Got it. You guys are drinking horn, so I just drink out of that.
We also have drinking horns. We should use our drinking horns again. Oh, okay. Moving along.
Plans made.
We have the cool threads section. You're wearing a shawl.
I'm actually wearing my shawl. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
I showed
Looks
it
so
on
good.
episode 125. I have finished the Endless Summer Adventure shawl. It is live on Ravelry. You can search it. And I am wearing the fingering weight version, which is a 1 skein wonder, complete with tassels. The DK version is a 3 skein DK weight. Because the tassels on the DK one are huge.
Looks so good. I'm
They're not
sort of
tiny
tempted to
tassels.
make one. Maybe that's what I should do. Oh, maybe that's what I should do with my leftovers from the fade.
Oh, that'd be great.
Just make a striped version of that.
That would be amazing.
Oh, okay, I
I
might
would
do
love
that.
it.
I might
Done
do
and
that.
done. You almost like the designer, and you could ask if she might gift you the copy of the pattern.
It is, in fact, almost like that.
Almost.
Almost.
So I finished it up a lot quicker than I thought I was going to, because it is a part of the Makers Challenge for 2019 for the Manitoba Fiber Festival this year. So Daria from Codename Fiberworks is dyeing up some kits.
Nice. Are
So
we
this
going with
is-
those colors or different colors?
Different colors. This was just a
Is
skein
it-
of hers that I had. She's actually dyed up colors that match the sort of inspirational color scheme set that they posted. So I'm going to be getting a set and making a third one
Nice. I'm excited.
in the color kit, because I feel like I want to. It's really important to me. I won't keep all 3 shawls. I'm going to give the cotton acrylic one to my mommy. She likes shawls with tassels.
Excellent.
So I will keep the all wool ones.
Perfect.
And we'll both be happy. So that's out.
I have a cool thread also.
Mm.
For anyone that lives in hot places and laments not being able to knit woolly things to wear, you can totally wear wool socks in the middle of the desert. I was in Vegas last week, and wool socks, when you're walking around all day, so great, even in the desert. Just saying. So, I don't care where you live, you can knit wool socks. They're fantastic in any temperature. Minus 40, plus 40,
Wool
any
breathes
temperature.
really well.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
you
good.
still wouldn't catch me wearing wool anything in the summer, but I overheat too easily.
They're so good for walking around, though.
Oh no.
It's so good.
Yeah. The other
So
thing good
good.
for when you're walking around for any length of time is a bottle of iced water.
Well, that too. But I mean, for keeping your feet happy is a good pair of shoes and a good pair of socks.
That's fair.
So, I'm an advocate of wool socks in all temperatures. So there.
You feel better now?
Yeah.
Would you like to get up your soapbox? I really need to crochet you a
Yeah,
little
you need to make me a
soapbox.
soapbox.
I need to make you a little mini soapbox you can take places. It'd be so good. Alright.
Alright, there's my soapbox.
Your soapbox is done?
Woolly workings. I have 3 things. 1, 2, 3. And I believe you have 4 things,
Yeah, I
if
don't
I'm
know.
counting correctly.
Do I have 4 things?
I think so.
Probably. Oh, well, I suppose I'll start first then. Life is back to normal. I'm literally, while we're podcasting, I'm working on my self-striping socks for the Fiber Friends self-striping sock along.
They look really nice, by the way.
I'm super happy with them. I even brought the tag over so that I could actually tell you what the wool is this time, and then promptly shoved it in another bag.
I'm liking that gradient on the one sock.
Well, they're not identical, they're fraternal twins.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because I couldn't be bothered to color match, if we're honest. I thought I put it in here. Is there a
I saw
ball
you put
band
it somewhere. I don't
in
see one.
here?
I definitely saw it somewhere.
Did I leave it on the computer desk?
No, I don't see it.
Ah, jeez.
I definitely saw it earlier and I
3
didn't read
weeks
it,
in a
so that
row.
was...
It was a comfort something. Comfort sock.
comfort sock, comfort wool,
Comfort wool. It's German, guys.
So we're saying it wrong regardless.
We're saying it completely incorrectly. Whatever. You know what? It's just... It'll happen at some point, and that ball band, maybe it'll show up as I go. Anyway, they're not matching by any stretch of the imagination. There is no pattern. It's just my basic, plain, boring, go-to, 2 at a time, toe-up sock recipe, because I love it. And because I didn't match the gradients, the socks will not match.
And that's fine.
And I'm super comfortable with unmatching socks, so I'm good. So it's basically plugging away. I'm doing this on my 2.25 millimeter Chow Goo needles on the red cable, because they're my lace ones. The skein itself lives in my Erin Lane bag. It's an Erin Lane sock bag, and it's got reds and browns and whites and creams. Well, creamy white and like coffee colored browns. It's a really nice harvest color set is what it is. Makes me think of fall, which is why I'm working on them now, so I can wear them at the end of September. Yeah, I got orangies and reds and stuff. Orangies, that's a color.
Orangies?
Orangies! What? This doesn't look like a pumpkin-y orange to you? It's definitely a pumpkin-y orange.
It seems a bit more red to me, but sure, it's orangies.
Red. Red is an orangey color.
Sure.
Shh, your turn.
Alright. So I had lots of time to knit on airplanes, although I'll be honest, I slept on the way home.
Yeah.
But I knit pretty well the entire way there.
I'm a tassel. Okay, I'm free.
So I had a major fiber flub with this one, which is why despite having so much knitting time, I actually have
tons of flight time.
I did have tons of flight time.
Okay.
But I only have a couple of inches to show for it.
Oh dear.
Because I'm knitting away and then I get through the pattern repeat and I'm like, these cables aren't crossing the way they should.
Oopsies.
And then I look back and like most of what I did on the airplane came after a mistake where I miscrossed some cables.
Yikes.
And so I'm like, okay, that's okay. I can just drop down this like set of 8 or 10 stitches and like recross the cables, it'll be fine. So I dropped down the stitches and I'm like trying to figure out, I must have spent, you guys, an hour on the airplane trying to figure this out, how to re-pick up my stitches, and eventually I'm like, I can't figure this out. I don't have a crochet hook. This isn't working.
I'm done.
So I had to tink back like somewhere between 10 and 16 rows.
Ouch.
So it was going so well, and then it was going so not well, and I spent so much time fixing it, and then in all that time I like forgot to drink water, and then I was dehydrated and I felt gross, and then I was grumpy and grouchy and dehydrated. It went so poorly. So for all the knitting time I had, I didn't get very much done.
Oh jeez.
So this is the Celtic Knits Fingering Weight shawl. I'm, I think, about halfway through it now, putting on the edging. I think, I don't even know. I'm just shy. I can see, you probably can't see on the camera, but I can see the center seam, or the center increase seam. I'm just shy of halfway. So this is like 49% of the edging. So this is out of Juniper Moon Farms, Farm Singular, Juniper Moon Farm Zoe, which is 60% cotton, 60% linen. No, that doesn't add up to 100.
How's your math doing today?
Terrible. 60% cotton and 40% linen. That adds up to 100.
I swear I only gave her half a beer.
I've only had one sip of the beer. Anyway, it's sort of a DK weight, sort of a fingering weight. It's really weird because like the thick part is like a DK, but the thin part is like a fingering, and so it's somewhere in the middle.
It's thin.
Yeah. Anyway, it makes for a great texture, and it's going to be awesome and beautiful and soft and lovely when it's finished.
What color is that?
Gray brown.
Gray brown.
Gray brown.
Browny
natural.
It looks like a medium natural like brown alpaca sheep color.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing bits of green in the undertone.
I definitely don't see any green.
Could just be me.
It does apparently have it's color number 9.
Oh, cool. That helps.
That's very helpful.
It looks pretty.
It does. It's a very, very nice natural sort of
muted
grayish,
color.
Brownish, beige-ish. This
gray
color.
Brown? Gray brown?
Sure.
Let's go gray brown.
It's brown with gray undertones.
Sure.
Anyway, I'm just gonna... It made me angry, or yeah. I got angry at myself.
We're gonna put that away and not look at it.
Yeah, I didn't knit a whole lot on that.
That's fair.
So that's that one.
Should I talk about my big one, my new one, or my little one?
So whichever one is the handiest.
Well, all of them are relatively handy. I finished a couple of things last week, so obviously that meant I cast on a whole bunch of new things. Because that's productive. We'll talk about one first of the 2 crochet projects I'm working on. Using some really pretty Estelle confetti yarn, which I'll hand the second ball to Diana.
Okay.
Because I can't read the percentages on what's what for that one.
All right.
In a white to deep green variegate or stripe pattern? No.
Gradient?
Gradient. That's the word I'm
But it's
looking
like
for.
a marled gradient.
It is like a marled gradient.
It's 50% cotton, 50% acrylic.
So obviously for my mommy, in this wonderful fingering weight, it's quite thin. I am working on what is called the indigo shrug pattern. It is a crocheted cocoon cardi shrug sort of idea.
I put my hair too far forward on my head. I can't balance things on my head today.
Oh, okay. So I'm literally working on my center panel right now.
Looks super cute.
It looks really nice. I decided to do in the pattern she has you do the dark color first out to the lighter color, which didn't make much sense because my mom's quite prone to spilling things on white stuff or almost white things. So instead,
most of the human population is.
I'm going to do it the other way around. So I put the white, well, kind of white. It's definitely confettied. So you get a lot of flecks of the darker color that shows up later in the pattern.
Yeah.
So I'm literally just working on the center square right now. I'm like on row 13 or something of 20 some odd. I'm just getting into the lace, so it's going to grow quite quickly at this point. So I did that because it's also going to sit in the center of her back, which is where her backpack sits. So it'll be covered 95% of the time if she's wearing it while she's out, or she'll be sitting in her chair reading because she's retired. So I'm not too worried about it. So this is working. I need to theoretically have it done for her birthday, but her birthday's today, so that's not happening.
You can totally do it.
Nope. But Mom wasn't terribly worried. She just wanted it by the end of the year, and I will get it to her by the end of the year. So I will start doing that, mostly because I've got her in town this coming week, which means if I've got the center panel done, I can put the center panel up on her to make sure the measurements were correct. And then I can do the 3 side panels in the lace pattern so that I can finish it. Because once measurements are great, gauge swatches are wonderful, I still prefer to visually sort of see where things sit when they're done. So I have a rough idea of how much longer other bits and pieces have to be.
Fair enough.
Mostly it's because my mom's like me. So our back circumference and our front circumference have a significant size differential.
I understand.
I suppose that's you, right? Or do I go again?
Oh, nope, I can do one. Alright, so you may recall I was knitting mittens for my brother.
I do recall you, in fact, were working on your mittens for your brother while we were doing D&D on Friday.
I had just started the thumb gusset 2 weeks ago, and now I have most of a mitten.
Woohoo!
Hey! So I'm not working on them right now because I literally just have to graft 20 stitches closed, and I hate grafting, and I didn't want to do that while recording.
That's fair.
And then I just have to pick up the stitches and do a thumb, and that's mitten number 1 complete.
You're right on track to have those done for Christmas.
Yeah, his birthday even, which is next month.
Oh my, yeah, I suppose.
So these might even be a birthday present.
Woo. I don't know, man. That's a pretty tight deadline for you.
I know, right?
How's that across the Prairie Cal coming?
Shush. We shall not speak of that. we do not speak of these things.
It is the project that shall not be named.
It is.
Oh gosh.
So this is, if I still have the ball band in here, this is Lang Yarn's Yaw Wool. I believe it's Swedish, so it's Jawoll. I guess it's Yavel. Yavel.
I can't even manage
seriously
English.
Guessing.
Never mind other languages.
Anyway, it's your standard 75% wool, 25% nylon. Oh, and apparently it's Yavel color.
Sure. I don't know what color that is either.
Self-striping blues.
Yeah. It looks good.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. My brother requested that these stripes match on the other mitten. Oh, I know.
Okay.
If I was making these for me, I wouldn't care, but I did ask him if he wanted the stripes to match, and he said yes. Like, he knows that it's more work to make them match, and he's like, but yes, please.
That's fair.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, I love you enough to make your mitten stripes match. This is how much I love you, your stripes will match.
What's your husband? Can I have? No. Yours will not identically match. I do not love you as much as I love my brother. Deal with it.
He just doesn't get stripy things.
No, that's fair. That's not really his sort of thing.
No, he's got like...
He likes solid colors.
One stripy sweater, but yeah, so my brother conveniently has hands that are about the same width as mine, and his fingers are just slightly longer because piano player. So I was able to use my own hands as as a model, which is great.
Yes.
So I'm super excited about how these are coming out, and I might make myself some pairs of these.
Ooh, Wolseley Wool's got a lot of sock yarn in right now.
I have so much fingering weight yarn.
Well, I'm just thinking a nice sort of sock nylon basis. Given how much I use mittens, maybe I'll go pick myself up a skein of the fingering to make myself some fingering weight mittens.
Yeah. And then they can go inside bigger mittens if you need, or not if you don't.
That's what I'm thinking, because I've got those serious hardcore white ones with the patches on the outside that have got the grippies for my cane.
Yeah.
I think a pair of fingering weight mittens would go in there quite nicely.
I think so.
And really, at minus 40, I don't want finger dexterity. I want warmth.
Yep. Yep.
Finger dexterity. I don't care.
I just want to not freeze while I'm going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything complicated in between these points. I just need to not die.
I just need to not freeze, yeah. Oh, I did have sewing for the week. Oh, whatever, it's fine.
Next week.
I might be able to show it next week. Right now it's at the awkward can't show stage.
Ah.
Okay.
We'll show it. We'll talk about it next week.
We'll talk about it next week.
Alright, what else you got?
Do you want the big project or the other new project?
Big project.
Okay. Living in one of my recycling bags. It's a reusable bag that's Heart Recycle.
Yay!
Because recycling is good. It's just a really big canvas tote, you guys. It was conveniently perfectly sized to hold my corner-to-corner blanket, which a user kindly said is my candy blanket. She's not wrong. The colors are very candy-like. I feel like I'm going to get attacked by a crochet hook. I worked more on my corner-to-corner blanket, which I have been doing by holding 2 skeins of yarn double. One, a scrap skein that is super old stash in my china cabinet, because I store my yarn in a china cabinet, and it makes an excellent bib. And one Bernat Premium White, which is 100% acrylic. Both of them are acrylic yarns. I remember that it's an acrylic yarn. I just don't remember what kind of yarn it is. Like its name or anything. Ooh, hey, this Hank has fallen to...
I dropped a stitch.
What did you do that for?
I don't know. It's a bad
Dropping
idea.
a stitch is a bad idea.
It really is. I know.
So I have this wonderful earthy toned skein of yarn that I'm going to use for the second half of the shawl, which goes from greens to blues to harvest oranges and reds. So it's got some beautiful color rotations to it that I did not enjoy knitting or crocheting up individually. I tried, and it just, for me, didn't work very well. But I loved the yarn. So I knew I was going to make something with it. And pairing it with the Bernat Premium has made it just wonderful to work with, because the Bernat Premium gives it that stability I was missing on its own.
It behaves better now?
It behaves so much better now. So I've still got a chunk to go before I'm on to the next one, but I have made some serious progress, and I'm ready to stop increasing because I finally have a plan on what I want to do. But you can see from my very giant stitch marker, Progress Keeper, hanging out way down here. That's that fancy little curled green glass leaf thingy I made.
Yeah.
I've put on a couple of rows. Not a lot, but a couple of rows. Then the rows are quite long now. We're not at that 45 stitches across that they want it to be, but I want to do a border.
Okay.
And it's a couch throw, so I don't want it much bigger width-wise than what it currently is. Hey, look, I found the crochet hook. Just jammed in here. That works.
It's hibernating.
So it covers both sides of me quite comfortably without any stretching. And once I put a border all the way around it, it'll be big enough to lie down under on a couch with.
Yeah.
Or that blanket with. So now I'm going to go lengthwise. And then when I run out of my first skein of the variegated color, I will then mark how many rows that is. Do that many rows in the second one and then decrease. So it could end up being long, which is fine. I'm almost 6 feet tall. A lot of my family are over 6 feet tall. So having a extra long couch blanket is really the way to go, because I don't know a ton of people who don't either super appreciate giant blankets on the couch or need a giant blanket on the couch to fit them lengthwise. As a standard sort of operating idea, when you buy those couch blankets from stores, they will cover my feet and they don't come up to my boobs. That's all the coverage I get. Girls down. Which doesn't work when you want to have a nap on the couch.
Not so much, no.
You want to be snuggled in your blanket.
Yes.
While you nap on the couch.
Yes.
This is a thing.
Yes.
So I'm making my own. And it's going to be long enough for me, darn it. So with Diana here, I've already borked the corner once and had to rip back. So I'm going to be like, I'm reading the instructions. I'm clearly not understanding what they're telling me. I'm trying to feel for this giant stitch marker, progress keeper, and I can't find it.
Been a while
Ha-ha!
since I did the corner on mine, but as I understand it, each row you're increasing on both ends.
Well, no, you decrease on one end, increase on the other.
Yeah.
So you keep your corner to corner. It's the decrease end I've messed up.
Okay.
So that, I think, while you're here, I might get you to walk me through the first decrease corner.
Okay.
Just to make sure that, well, figure out what it is I'm doing wrong. Because I'm reading the instructions, but clearly something's not clicking. Which is fine. Happens to me all the time. Not the end of the world.
All right.
So once we do that, I can then just keep motoring along. And the rows obviously won't get any longer than their current bump braids. This is a free pattern that you can find on Red Heart.
I do believe it is a Red Heart pattern.
It's a Red Heart pattern. Yeah.
Three different variations depending on the colors you want to do, but the construction of it is
the same.
the same.
Yeah, you did yours in stripes. I decided not to stripe mine, and I doubled up with a worsted and a fingering, so I went up a hook size. So I'm doing mine on whatever hook size that is.
K, or 6.5 mil.
Sure. 6.5 millimeters, guys. So it's coming along great. And then I'm going to do a gray border. A nice solid half double crochet, I think.
Yeah.
For 2 rows. I think that'll make a nice border, or 4, however many I decide. So that continues. I needed something not super intense to think about, and the Indigo Shrug has got the lace pattern coming up, so I was like, that's not going to work. And if I cast it on 3 projects in a little stash dash, I would be idiotic. It's still that entire box over there. That's all unfinished projects.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just so set for stash dash. You should really finish those.
Next year. It ends in a week, guys. I'm not finishing a ton of things, I don't think. But I might finish some other stuff. Whatever. I'm easily over 5 kilometers.
That's true.
I might be over 7. I have to do some math.
Such grand hopes, but I don't think
Well, I was aiming for like 7 or 10 clicks this year, so I'm not doing too bad.
I finished a shawl and I think a pair of socks, and that's like it.
Okay. Well,
I made lots of progress on stuff, but
did.
they're just not finished.
Yeah. You got till Saturday.
We'll see how that goes.
All right, you got one last project?
Yes. This thing here that I'm working on right now, which I will just awkwardly hold up in the middle of the row.
Yeah, why not?
I needed something to work on while we were recording, so I picked up my Find Your Fade. So I've done all of 4 rows today since last we spoke. But I'm now into my last big chunk of color. That's this Cinnamon Dolce from Savannah? I don't know, the ball band's down there.
Oh, the Cinnamon Dolce, that's the color I really like.
Yeah, it's like this gold, yellow, and gray color.
Oh, it's so pretty.
So nice. And it's striped together, so this is the wrong side that you guys are looking at, but it doesn't matter because it's still pretty. It's striped together so well. Oh, that does matter. Okay. It's striped together so well with the truffle from Hedgehog Fibers. I'm just so happy. And then there's all the other pretty travel yarn that I've done, and I'm really enjoying this shawl, and I'm excited to have it done and to be able to wear it.
If you haul butt this week, you could have it done, and that's a freaking lot of knitting.
Theoretically, yeah, and I don't have too much going on this week, although somebody's just booked me for a farmer's market on Wednesday, so we'll see.
Whatever. You really need to go check out this non-dairy sour cream. It's really tasty.
What do you make it out of if it's not dairy?
I think they do it out of cashews.
Oh, I would like that a lot.
I know.
I think I made cheese out of cashews once to make a cheeseless cheesecake. It actually was okay.
Yeah? Well, not to mention farm fresh vegetables. You could know the dudes that kill your meat. And then there's a whole bunch of like artisanal made home goods that, hello, are tasty. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And you wanted to go, and I like to go every once in a while, so why not take you with me?
Fair enough.
This makes sense to me logically. Well, it's not like you're going to make the Thursday midday one downtown. You work.
This is true.
And Saturday mornings are touch and go.
Sleep is nice.
So let's go to the Wednesday afternoon one every once in a while.
Sounds good.
Totally doable. All right, I suppose that leaves me in the last new cast on. I know, a new cast on into the last week of Stash Dash. What am I doing with my life? I am volunteering to help people test knit. That's what I'm doing. It's all Jamie's fault from Cozy Up Knits because she showed me really pretty patterns and I had to help.
Right, it's all somebody else's fault.
Listen.
Somebody else enabled me.
Always. I like their designs.
I know, I do too. I totally understand.
It's so, there's no name for this shawl yet, guys. I'm literally test knitting it. And I like Jamie's designs a fair bit because they change so much. Like, there's constant change going on, so you don't really get, like, it's not like when I did the Northern Radiance when I never wanted to do that stitch again, which is a slip stitch cable sort of look. Fake cable, faux cable, faux cable. Love the stitch, but I'm sick of it. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't get that way with a lot of their patterns because it doesn't stay for very long. So I am working on, it's a semicircular shawl. So this is going to bunch up on the cables real nicely for everybody. I'm just in the middle of the first bobble section. Bobbles!
Love those colors so much.
I love the look of the bobble. I hate making the things. I love them too much not to make them though. I am doing this out of 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn. The nice variegated goldeny brown color we got going on is the Amber Saves the Dinos from Hilary's Magical Yarnorium. And then the other 2 colors I've got, which are a nice sort of antique gold and wine burgundy red color, are literally from Madeline Tosh, which I discussed before I caked it up and started a couple episodes about having purchased this before Madeline Tosh had her kerfuffle at the beginning of the year. So I am using it from stash, even though she's got to make a lot of progress and show that she's done some significant changes to how she views inclusivity before I purchase from her again, even tangentially through a store. So I won't be buying any more of her stuff for a while, but I won't say never, because if she makes the progress, then obviously, absolutely. But right now I'm a little hesitant. So I'm using up my stash, which conveniently enough, I have to have this done really fast because it's a test knit, which means I could just wear it to Knit City, which is when this pattern is debuting.
Ah, that would be lovely.
So it'll be my Knit City yarns, because 2 of these skeins came from Knit City last year.
Yeah, I thought the purple in particular seemed familiar.
Yeah, the red and the antique gold came from last year's Knit City. So we've got ourselves that deep winey color.
It's such a nice color.
Oh, I know, it's so pretty.
Like,
it's such a pain in the butt to see
but...
the stitches. And this beautiful, which is
good.
literally called liquid gold. The antique gold color is called liquid gold.
So
and it's
nice.
a winey color for the reddy purple colored one. I just can't quite remember it. So these were really good, and I bought them as is because like they'll make something, right? Super not worried about it. And then when we were out in Brandon, yes, when we were out in Brandon for the Blue Hills Fiber Festival this spring, I picked up a skein of Amber Saves the Dinos from Hilary's Magical Yarnorium. And boy, I love how that variegated color work shows up in the cake.
It's nice.
It's just, we'll keep with the gold analogy. It goes from a really light honey gold, or no, really light gold down to a deep honey gold. Look at that. Look at those colors together.
It's very similar, but like different.
Just different enough. It's got that nice blendie. And we technically have it like this because the lace work will be done in the liquid gold at the bottom. However, this does mean tangentially I am participating in the gold along, glorious gold along that Vicariously Knitting's doing.
Oh my gosh. How many alongs? How many?
So many alongs, all the alongs. I like watching Vicariously Knitting. She's delightful. Heads up, it is a swear-friendly podcast, you guys. And I'm fine with that. She loves anything even remotely related tangentially to once may have potentially been the color gold.
Okay.
Counts. And the idea is that you do it, and then if you don't want to introduce yourself to her, say when she's in Rhinebeck and stuff, you can just wear your gold-colored object, and then she knows you're one of her people. One of the community, and then you don't have to worry about the stress and anxiety that comes along with introducing yourself to someone that you may know on the internet, like you guys do, that I might not know in person because we only know each other through the internet, and it is a one-way communication form.
It's so weird meeting people from the internet.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's weird, but I love it.
I decided, yep, this is gonna work. This is gonna be my glorious gold along shawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wear it out to Knit City, which were the patterns releasing, and I'm trying to make plans with the girls from Cozy Up Knits. Jamie, sweetie, you and the sisters, us, Knit City. My hotel has a swim swimming pool. Just saying. So I had to do this twice because I started this on the recommended needle size, but I was getting too dense of a fabric for my comfort. So I went up 0.25 millimeter in it, and I'm getting a much better fabric for me. I am a very tight knitter.
Yes.
I should have just done that from the start.
Yeah, I thought you knew this already. Jeez.
You'd think I'd pay attention to these things, but I don't. So I literally got up to the point where I was ready to do the bobbles and then realized I didn't like the density of the fabric. Had to rip it all out and do it all over again. So I should technically be done this by the start of September. I got 2 weeks.
Yeah?
Yeah, yikes. Bobbles take forever, you guys.
Yes, they do, but
I
they
love
look so fun.
They're so fun. I love doing them. I really hate
They're so
making
fun.
these things so bad. Okay, it's like a Pico border. Totally worth it. Halfway through, you think, what have I done to myself? I am out of my mind.
I don't know if I should ever make anything with baubles because I feel like I'd just play with the bauble until it fell off and then I'd have a hole in my knitting and that would be bad.
No, it's quite secure. I'm making smaller baubles than she's got written in the pattern so we can see the difference. So you can have the option to have a smaller bauble or a larger bauble,
Okay.
depending on what you like or don't like. I'm liking how the smaller baubles are working out. They're still quite big, but they're not 6 stitches, they're 4 stitches. Yeah, so they're a smaller bauble. No, baubles are quite secure once they're done. Like you can see from the back of the fabric here.
Oh yeah, those are solid.
They're there. Well, not all of my baubles are perfect. I am not a perfect bauble maker. Some of these baubles need some flattening, some of them need some widening, some of them are a little narrow, some are a little fat. And you know what? Each one of them is perfect in their own way.
What an optimistic outlook.
Yes. I'm also not doing this with mohair.
Ha!
Because the baubles are done with mohair in the pattern call, but if you're not using mohair, you just use your first color.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't like mohair.
It's fair. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. I just don't like it. Just fine.
Alright.
Some people don't like that super rustic Briggs and Little yarn that I love so much. Super okay. That's living in my all-time cat's most hated bag, the Dragon Fiber bag. This is out and open. She's on it, she's in it, she's dragging it around, she's chewing on it, she's stomping on it, she's shoving her head. She hates this bag. Hates this bag. I don't know if it's because it pops back up when she's done with it and that annoys the snot out of her. Like it never dies. But if I'm not working in it, it has to be brim folded down and tucked somewhere where she can't see it. Or it ends up in bed with me in the morning because she's killed it and brought it to my attention.
Right.
Better than dead bugs.
Yep.
My old cat, Mr. Dude. I've shown you a photo of Mr. Dude, right?
Probably at some point.
Way in the back corner where you guys can't focus, on a shelf, I have a picture of my 2 previous cats that I've owned. Mr. Dude was a 21-pound cat. And he was, what's that giant cat breed? They usually don't have a tail. I don't remember what they're called anymore. Anyway, he was one of those. So like he was the size of a small dog and I was the size he was supposed to be. Now he was a perfectly healthy, perfectly weighted cat for his breed. He was a lapdog. He was not a cat, he was a lapdog. Which was fine because he had a super mellow disposition. So he moseyed. When I said you know, you get those old surfers, they just don't care.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, here we go. That was him, all the way. He loved to bring me dead bumblebees. The bigger, the better.
Oh dear.
Mom did not appreciate the dead bumblebees. My mother found it hilarious. I did not appreciate the dead bumblebees. But he was so proud of his hunting skills. Only freaked out once when it was only a half-dead hornet. No, thank you.
Yeah.
Not for me. Kitchen. Whatever. Maybe they were worried about my protein consumption.
Oh, maybe.
Cats care about these things.
I believe that brings us to Yarn on the Go.
It does. You did more going than I did. I just had appointments and stuff this week and not fun things, so.
Alright, so I went to DEF CON. I'm going to start by...
Which is definitely more fun than having my eyeballs dilated and going through an MRI machine. Dear heavens.
I'm going to pull up a picture of, if you remember from a couple of weeks ago, the beard I was making for a beard contest.
You finished the stash?
The stash part, yes.
The moustache?
I forgot to bring it, of course, to actually show it. So I have a picture here.
Okay.
Oh, I'm actually wearing the same picture, or the same shirt in this picture. That's cool. So it wound up that I had, without realizing scheduling conflicts, volunteered to help somebody out at the last minute. And so I ended up volunteering at the time of the beard contest. So I didn't end up finishing the beard because I couldn't enter the beard contest because I was busy doing something else. which was great. I got to volunteer in the kids area, which you don't normally get to go into. You can only get into the kids area at DEF CON if you are a volunteer
Or a kid?
or you have a kid with you, like you're a parent.
Yeah.
I don't have a kid, obviously, so I got in as a volunteer, and it was so fun. There's nothing really makery or like crafty to talk about in there, but it was so cool watching all the kids like solder and pick locks, and they were so into it. And then they're little, of course, so it's like tiny hackers everywhere.
Remind me to show you the pictures of my niece. She's not tiny, but she did that silk rope dancing Cirque du Soleil stuff as one of her camps while she was out with her grandparents.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they're just short little video clips. I will show you.
So there's a picture of. Let me
go
closer.
Super close.
Super close. There's
cut my head out so it focuses.
There we go. Cut my head out too. So there's some crocheted
mustache.
Some crocheted mustache attached to a face mask.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, it was quite something.
Oh man, that's gonna look great once you've bearded that out.
Oh hey, it's a cat.
She likes you. And you have yarn loose.
Oh dear. Cat. Cat. How?
She doesn't chew on it, if that helps you. And she's pretty good at walking out of it when she walks into it. She does this little leg shake thing and like looks at the yarn offensively. It's the yarn's fault she walked through it.
Well, obviously.
Obviously.
So there was that makery thing, but also, so the DEF CON badges were really cool. This used to be on a lanyard, this thing that I've now turned into a statement watch sort of looking thing.
I think you need to turn it into a Stargate.
Maybe. I've seen somebody else on Twitter turn theirs into like a whole statement necklace choker thing where it like looks like a moon and they put like lace and chains and stuff all around it, and it looks amazing. So like,
that's not super your aesthetic.
It's not, but it looks so cool. And these, because it's just a big circle of quartz, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like statement jewelry. So I think I need to make some kind of fancier band for it so I can.
Oh yes, it needs a better band.
Something for it.
Like I said, if you need someone to hide behind when you buy the bedazzler to fix that up.
Oh no, I need no one to hide behind for that. I'll just do it. But yeah, so that's
Ryan's still in that, baby.
So that's a craft that's gonna happen. And there were so many people that had so many cool wearable tech things like blinky tiaras and blinky skirts and light up things, and I'm like, I have so many ideas for next year. I want to make light up boots that change colors when I walk, and I want to make a little pin that badges are a big deal at DEF CON. It just is. So I want to give badges to like my close friends at DEF CON so that when they're standing close to me, my little pin will light up. And I want to put a band around the hat that I wear all the time that just, it's like a ticker tape kind of thing, and it just displays tweets. I have so many ideas. I am going to focus on the boots first because I really want an excuse to have knee-high boots.
If you do the ticker tape one, please tell me. I will randomly tweet at you so it shows
Absolutely.
up. Oh my gosh, because my tweets are random.
So I have so much wearable tech, and it's so crafty and like
10 a.m. Las Vegas time to be like, don't forget, drink your fruits for the day. Get a milkshake.
So margarita count?
No. But we did decide fruit smoothies counted.
Yes.
And I kid you not, after I read your first one, when you asked that question, and I replied, I literally got up, went and blended some pineapples, some milk, and some almond milk, and some ice cream. And I was like, does pineapple count? And then I was like, pineapple smoothie milkshake thing. And off I went.
Somebody else asked me if salsa counted. I'm like, yeah, that's basically a smoothie, so sure, yeah.
I wouldn't drink salsa.
Well, you don't drink salsa, but if like your hangover breakfast consists of eggs drowning in salsa, I think that counts as vegetables.
Sure. I don't see why not.
Seems legit.
Ugh,
but
salsa is a hangover food. That was not my hangover food of choice.
I actually really like ramen as a hangover food.
Oh, I was 7-Eleven potato wedges all the way.
Grease.
Oh yeah, no.
Grease is bad.
Greasy food all the way. But I was really only ever hungover like 2 or 3 times. And then I was done with that. I never did it again.
I learned that I learned some important things at DEF CON this year.
Sleeping is good.
No, I learned that last year.
Oh, good.
This year I learned that I like Fireball whiskey. And
I saw that.
I should not like Fireball whiskey.
It's a cinnamon whiskey, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I had a bit of a rough morning the next day. Definitely glad I had somebody to walk me home that night. Yeah.
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 Well done.
Yeah. But it was good. I had a good time. And I learned about hacking elevators, and I learned about the Tor browser, and I met a whole bunch of people. It was a good time.
Oh, man. One of your ticker tape things should be, have you used your phone in apps with the screen turning black and your accessibility app on? Not? You need to. What, in a conference full of people who deal with tech all day long?
Yeah.
That would drive them crazy. I feel like that needs to happen. Though I did learn a nifty trick.
What?
For helping people experience the eye exhaustion that occurs really quickly with visually impaired people.
Okay.
Is putting a layer of Vaseline on the inside of your glasses. Sunglasses, your glasses, non-prescription glasses, because the Vaseline won't, it's an inert item, so it won't scratch the glasses or lenses, just makes them greasy, which you can wash off and clean. But it causes your eyeballs to struggle to focus. So you have to work twice as hard or 3 times as hard as you normally would have to focus on something, which is the level I start at in the morning. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to explain it to someone, because they were like, well, what do you mean your eyes get tired and you can't do it anymore? Like, okay, I work 4 times as hard to focus on anything. That's everything. From the moment I open my eyes to the moment I close them in the day, I'm working 4 times as hard to just process information. So I was looking for tips and tricks to help explain it, and that was a given example that people who are sighted could do to sort of simulate the level of concentration that's required to focus when you're visually impaired. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, no, that's a super simple thing.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So there. Anyway, that was a complete segue, but it happens a lot with me.
Yeah. DEF CON, making things.
Cool things. All the stuff.
Makey things. Cool.
Crafty things.
Crafty makey things.
You're going to have knee-high glowing boots?
Hells yeah.
Got it.
Hells to the yeah.
Got it.
EL wire all up in there. What, am I too white for that?
Maybe. Like, yeah, you don't have enough street cred to pull that off.
I really don't.
Nice try though, but
E for effort.
A for effort.
Oh, okay.
A for effort. All right. No, I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, that was my wearable tech yarn on the go. I knitted at DEF CON. That was cool. I told some people about the podcast. If anybody's still watching the podcast that I talked to at DEF CON, hi!
Hello, people I never met. There's no reason for me to go to a tech conference. I am not in the technologies industry.
I learned how to pick handcuffs with a bobby pin.
Sure, why not? That's
cool.
A useful skill.
Yeah. Got to keep bobby pins in my back pockets now, just in case.
You get arrested by the cops?
I foresee it's far more likely that I am consensually handcuffed by somebody that wants me to prove that I can actually pick my way out of handcuffs.
Yeah, I think the biggest law-breaking thing you do is jaywalking.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a speeding ticket the other day from one of the cameras.
That's right up there with jaywalking.
Yeah,
I don't
right?
really think that counts. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of those, prove it sort of situations.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow, those birds are loud.
The birds are very loud. My niece has budgies. They're loud if their environment's loud. If their environment's quiet, they're quiet, but they sort of respond to the level of sound that's going on. So it just depends. If the dogs are moving around, the birds get very, very loud. Which is fair. The dogs are loud. And they want to be heard. Which, by the way, I'm not getting none of us are getting presents this year when my niece comes home this coming week from her grandmother's house, because the birds have gotten nothing but presents. And every time they've been out, the birds have won.
Oh my.
I'm like, that's fine, Mommy. I don't need presents. Mom's like, she's gonna feel bad when she gets home. I'm like, yeah, but by then it's too late. But I can understand, because she loves her birds. So I suspect they have a whole bunch of new toys and things, which is good, because you need to stimulate their environment and change it up all the time on them, or they get bored. Which is fair. They live in a cage.
Yep.
It's not a normal habitat for them.
Got off on a tangent. I think we're supposed to be talking about wool gathering.
We are now.
Okay. The live knitting club Patreon thing.
Oh, nice wordage.
Uh-huh. I've used all my words now.
The knit in that we have the second last Saturday of every month is happening this coming Saturday, the 24th of August. Also happens to be the last day of Stash Dash. It is going to start at noon our time, which is Daylight Saving Central?
Central Daylight Time.
Central Daylight. I always do it wrong, by the way. Have you noticed? Always, you guys. So that starts, if you're not a Patreon member yet, you totally have time to join in and do that. If you don't know what Patreon is, Diana will include a link in the description or in the show notes or wherever she magically puts links that I can never figure out. And it can tell you all about it. For those of you Patreon readers waiting on a video from me, we're not even going to discuss uploads right now. As soon as I can get it to work, it will go live.
There are many gremlins. Oh, hi, Kat. Speaking of gremlins.
She is one of them. She doesn't help the process. Why are you walking on me?
Yeah, I think that was it for wool gathering, yeah?
Yeah, it's just the Patreon stuff that's happening. For those of you that are interested, those videos are going to be where I put all of the videos for how I decided to go towards a homemade house, how I broke down the tasks into a manageable thing rather than this overwhelming, all-consuming flip your house to as much homemade as possible. And then how I broke it down, wrote it out so that I could go, okay, I want to tackle this project right now, and I want to tackle this project right now into something that's a lot more easier to wrap my brain around. Yeah. So that's the first one. So.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. Figured it was a good place to put them. Will those ever go live on YouTube? I don't know. Maybe someday. Right now they're going to be Patreon exclusive. So.
Cool. Mm-hmm. At any particular level or just all the levels?
I think we're doing $5 and up a month, I believe is where I set that one.
Okay.
Yeah. But the knit chat's available at $1 or more. At some point it'll get big enough. What we'll have to do is we'll have to go and do it on a chat and just be a video and have them chatting at us. Yeah, but we're not there yet. So that's a thing.
That works.
All right.
Literature.
I am 28 hours into a 45-hour long book by Brandon Sanderson on Audible. It's called The Way of Kings.
So it's an epic.
It's a big fantasy book. I love me some big fantasy books. Guys, we just did this with the Priory of the Orange Tree. Did we not?
You like big books and you cannot lie?
I like big books and I cannot lie. I can't read them anymore. It's too exhausting for my eyeballs. But Audible is amazing, and I use it all the time. So I have been listening to that fairly exclusively and keeping up with podcasts. I had thought about doing a couple of other books in the last few weeks. I instead started rewatching Warehouse 13. So that's a thing.
Add that to the notes. Warehouse.
Listen, the Alice in Wonderland episode is creepy.
I don't remember that one. Maybe I should rewatch Warehouse 13.
So creepy! So creepy!
That was a good show. I should definitely watch that again.
Yes, I've been enjoying it, and it's given me a break from, I kid you not, Sequest, TSV, or Stargate. I apparently only like TV that was made in the early 2000s or earlier. And very little after that, outside of the massive amounts of anime I've been consuming.
I see.
I just about have Mr. B talked into splitting a Crunchyroll subscription with me.
Oh, nice.
So I would share my Funimation with him and he'd share his Crunchyroll with me. We might not be dating, but we still share streaming sites because we're good friends.
Well, good.
Yeah, he shares my Netflix with me. Yeah. Which is fine. Not my Amazon, though. If he wants 2-day free shipping, he has to do that on his own.
Fair. I've been still very slowly reading Babylon's Ashes, which is the 6th book in the Expanse series.
Mm-hmm.
I also started rewatching the Expanse series because my work book club has been reading the first book in the series.
Oh, cool.
And the first season is pretty much scene for scene the same as the book. But then we just kind of kept going because the next season's going to come out eventually, and it started to diverge from the books a bit, and so we're just rewatching the whole series now. Space opera. Love it. The books, the TV show, it's all so good, and you should consume this if sci-fi is at all your thing.
31st of October.
For?
There is a Tri-Wizard Tournament reading challenge along.
Okay. I like it so far.
You would be in the same house as me, because it's divided by birth month.
Okay.
We'd be Beaubaxton.
Okay.
And we would complete the Tri-Wizard Tournament challenges to collect points for our houses.
Okay.
And it's reading book based.
Okay.
I will send you a Twitter link.
Yes.
Oh, because I totally sucked up.
Of course you did.
It starts on the 31st of October by rewatching The Goblet of Fire and getting your first challenge question.
Okay.
How is this not cool? As
I
a
like
read-along?
Yes.
Isn't that an amazing concept? And it's a longer one. It's not like a super short one. So you have more time to complete the challenges and stuff going on. So
All right.
I'm like, yes! Buckets of yes! It's right up there with that fantasy adventure along one that I did. Super enjoyed that one. That was delightful.
It looked really fun, and I don't have time to read more books. And I'm already reading, which is not very many, but I'm still doing it.
That's fine.
But yes, this sounds really fun. I'm into this.
Yeah. Even if you just help me, that's fine.
Okay, I'm into it.
Got it. I will send you links. I will likely forget and then remember when I'm editing this. So when
Fair.
this shows up in your Twitter e-box on Tuesday, you know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Oh, Jocelyn's editing. You guys, I'm on Twitter.
I think we're just at events then.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a pretty short week. Do you want me to do the events?
Seeing if I can remember. So things that are ending soon. Stash Dash.
Yep.
It's done on Saturday.
24th of August, you guys. How did 3 months go by?
I don't know. I'm a little bit concerned.
I thought I'd get through a lot more of that giant, frightening pile than I did.
And then you started and finished a whole bunch of stuff.
God,
So
I do it every year. I need to learn to stop doing that.
But yes, Stash Dash, compete against yourself to finish as much meterage of yarn into finished objects as possible.
Mm-hmm.
For fame and glory.
For yourself. It's a challenge
for yourself.
Yeah.
This is hosted by the Knit Girls podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently running the Across the Prairies Cal.
Yeah.
It was like Exploration Station Cal. No, that was last year's. No, it's the Across the Prairies Cal. We're doing that in conjunction with Cozy Up Knits and A Tale of Two Knitters and Feathered Stitches.
Bingo!
Hey, I got it right this time.
I have successfully frogged the entirety of my shell because I messed up Wedge 2.
Oh no!
So we're going to start that again this week because I was really mad. And I had that test knit pop up and I was like, let's just finish the test knit because I can do a 3-skein shawl in a month or less. That's not a problem for me. Can you make a note to start an FO thread because I keep forgetting to do that?
Okay. Cal FO thread.
Yep.
FO thread. Yes, because that's our Across the Prairies thing is going until the end of September.
It is, yes.
So that's coming up surprisingly soon.
Yes, it is.
Huh.
That's why I'm making fun of you for your not wound yarn.
Yeah, for my my 5-skein behemoth.
Yes.
Totally do that in a month.
If you haul keister, yes you can. I have seen you accomplish a lot in a month when you've buckled down for it.
I know.
Don't give me that face.
I can do it.
Whether or not you do it or not,
Whether
I
will...
can't help you with.
We'll see. We'll see. That's all that's popping into mind. There's more things. I'm sure there's more things. What am I forgetting about?
Well, you don't know about the new thing that we're just going to host.
Oh.
We don't have to do any work to it if we don't want to.
Okay.
But we offered our Ravelry platform space to Chantel from Sunflowers and Storm Clouds because she would like to host a 4-month-long knit-along with a Canadian designer she has chosen.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
She wanted a place to host it, and I said she was more than welcome to use our Ravelry space to do so, to keep track of things. So
sure, yeah.
She's coming up with a name, and we'll get the chatter thread started for you guys really shortly, since that's starting the 1st of September and running till the end of December.
Nice.
Because to quote Chantel, I don't knit fast. I will show you the Canadian designer, and you're welcome for the things you will cast on.
All right.
So pretty. Am I
going to
do something?
Name, or
Chantal hasn't come up with a name yet, so I gotta poke her at the end of this weekend because I know she was doing a bunch of demo work on her new house because she literally just bought a house, and then she was gonna spend the weekend with her partner.
Mm-hmm.
So I was gonna bug her later tonight when I know she'll be home, getting ready for the week. Yeah.
All right.
So I will get that information and get her on there as a moderator and stuff so that she can edit and update and watch those things. So all the links and stuff will be in the Ravelry show notes or in episode 125 if you watched it. So that's a new one, which we technically aren't participating in. We're just hosting space for.
Okay.
Having said that, my God, the patterns are pretty. I'm obviously casting something on.
Oh dear. Okay.
Obviously.
All right. I'm preparing to fall down a rabbit hole.
You should, ma'am. You should. So that's going on. And then we've got Manitoba Fiber Festival in less than 3 weeks. 4 weeks. Less than 4 weeks. It is literally the second Friday and Saturday in September. And
so
we are
it is.
super close to the end of August. I'm like, holy Hannah!
I'm not really sure when that happened. Okay, cool.
How did that happen? So it is Winnipeg's largest fiber festival. It runs for 2 days. So we will be there. I'm trying to convince Diana to go both days because we honestly just need that much time between the amount of chatting and talking we do to actually get to all the booths.
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah.
We can't do it in one day. We are not speed shoppers.
No.
Neither one of the two of us. So I feel like that's gonna, because I mean, there's no way we don't spend like an hour at Daria's booth.
We always do, yeah.
We like Daria. Why wouldn't we spend an hour?
It's more like hanging out than shopping at that point.
At a lot of the booths we stop at, it's a lot more hanging out than shopping at this point for the pair of us.
That's true, yeah.
Like we aren't gonna visit and chat with Allie.
Also true, yeah.
So going to happen, you guys. So you will find us there for both days, I suspect. Hardcore suspect you will find us there for both days.
Probably.
I'm just gonna call it now. We're likely there Friday and Saturday. Then we have a bit of a downtime in which I may or may not go to Fan Expo. Haven't decided yet. And then I am off to Knit City and I'm desperately trying to convince Diana to just fly out Friday evening and stay with us for the weekend and fly home Sunday.
Possibly. It's a very strong there. Possibly.
I'm almost there, you guys.
I looked up flights. It's not too expensive.
It's not. It's quite reasonably priced if you're not stuck traveling with me and my extra care requirements because vision issues.
I get to fly cheaply if I'm flying with you.
This is also a bonus. Yeah, there's that. So that's going on. So I'll definitely be at Knit City. Terry will definitely be at Knit City, and we're trying to see if we can get Diane out there and possibly Chantal. Might be the whole Winnipeg Knit group. Well, our Winnipeg Knit group anyway. Out at Knit City this year.
That'd be fun.
I think that'd be delightful. So working on those things. Otherwise, there's not a ton on the plate right now with things wrapping up. Thing. You do?
I have a thing. If you are into donating money to watch me play games for 24 hours.
Oh, are we doing that?
I'm doing that. Are you doing that?
I thought you wanted us to do it as a board game group. You, me, and the brothers.
Yeah, I don't know if Mr. B signed up for it either. I keep poking him about it, and he goes,
I haven't signed up.
I think early bird ends on Monday. If you want to do that. Anyway, my company is hosting Extra Life North. Extra Life is a charity thing that they do an event where you game for 24 hours. It's like a gaming marathon to raise money for your local children's hospital. So my company is hosting Extra Life North. That is happening on September 8th. We will be streaming it and doing weird gaming things for donations. Part of my weekend is going to be spent with the Bold Dungeons & Dragons group. We will be doing all sorts of chaos to try to garner fundraising donations. I will put links to all of this in the show notes, including donation links, but essentially we will be streaming our D&D game, and if you want to drop in extra monsters, make a donation. If you want to help the heroes, you can make a donation.
Oh, I'm dropping in a monster.
Yeah, I know. Everybody's dropping in monsters.
Oh, yeah.
So audience participation encouraged. Donations will add to the chaos. So please do tune in to Extra Life North on September 8th.
Does your Bold team D&D need a good cleric?
Maybe.
I am a very good cleric.
Well, you should come then. You should sign up.
I've played clerics for years. I'm happy in my cleric zone.
I'll put links for signing up and for the donation links for both me and the D&D group.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing
cause.
In our show notes. It's an amazing cause. Do it up. Do it up.
Yeah.
Sweet. Otherwise, after Stash Dash and all the hoopla that is fall festival season, the only thing we'll have creeping up on us pretty quickly will be the Grinch Along. And the wrapping up of the year-long challenge of the knitting bingo cards. So I'm excited to see how everyone's been progressing with their bingo cards.
Oh my gosh.
And how many
I forgot
X's
about
they've
that.
done. I haven't. I've been making my X's as I've been completing things.
I've got a few X's.
Mm.
This is an X if I ever finish this.
I think you should haul butt and get it done this week. Count it for Stash Dash.
I'm gonna try.
I think that'd be
I'm gonna try.
amazing. Saturday, she's knitting like a fiend. Can't talk, you guys! I'm knitting!
Can't talk knitting.
Must knit! Okay.
Start taking the bus again this week just for extra knitting time.
Just extra knitting time?
Or I could also just, knit, get up earlier, knit a little bit, and then drive to work. Suddenly all my lunch hours are knitting.
People, what are you doing? I have a deadline! Don't
Must
talk to
finish.
me! Must knit! Oh, okay. That's a thing. Yeah, I think that's it. Until I find another knit along to join.
Well, that won't take long.
That won't take long at all. I found one accidentally while watching a podcast. Just because it happened to match the colors of the shawl I was already creating. Literally fell into it.
Well, hey. Whatever works for you.
Serendipity, people. Prep your needles and get started thinking at the start of what is next year, 2020?
Yep.
Oh my god. Oh, Diana. I'm closing in on a big high school reunion. My 20-year high school reunion's in 2021. Oh,
My 10-year one was this year.
That's frightening.
Not
Super
that anything
frightening.
happened for it, at least nothing that I was invited to, which is totally fine.
I was invited to my 10-year high school reunion.
I don't know, I don't think there was anything.
If I know the ladies who ran the 10-year, for sure there'll be a 20-year one. I'll probably end up volunteering and helping out with some stuff, which is super cool. I'm thinking we're going to do a year-long ugly Christmas sweater challenge.
Year long.
Well, it gives people who, like, as Chantel says, don't knit that fast,
Fair.
an entire year to work on a ugly Christmas sweater for them to have for Christmas Day.
I like it.
That way, if you want to do a super complex one, cool. If you want to make one, then just call it your ugly Christmas sweater, but it's not, super cool. Say you want to do color work and you want to make it in Christmas colors, and you want like a Tecumseh, which is like all over color work.
Ah,
Having the extra time, why wouldn't you?
yeah.
So I think that's what we'll do for the 2020 challenge of the year. Will be like sweater challenges or something.
I like it.
That way it can be, if you make one, cool. If you make several, okay. You are a better knitter than I am, ma'am. Sir, person, blue alien.
Only
Whatever.
the blue aliens?
I don't know. I don't want to say they're green aliens because then I'm stereotyping based off Hollywood media. That would be rude. Sticosauruses, like, I don't know who knits. Whoever wants to knit can knit. I think that'll be a good idea.
Alright.
It also gives me an excuse to do that fingering weight color work boxy sweater we saw.
Oh, yeah.
Because then I could take 6 months to do that because it's a fingering weight boxy sweater
Yeah.
in color work. Still want to make it.
Yeah, me too.
There's the Saturday morning sweater I showed you, which is another fingering boxy. That's the one where it had the one color on the top and the second color on the bottom.
Mhm.
Really want to make that one too. And it's another fingering weight boxy. That's a lot of knitting.
It is.
So yeah, I think 2020 we'll do sweaters.
I like it. I do have at
Yeah,
least
yeah.
2 sweaters in the queue.
Yeah. You don't have to add anything or buy anything. It's there.
It's already there.
And it's your prompt to work on it.
Perfect.
No, I'm not taking bets on who's crossed off more of the knitting square challenge bingo card, me or Diana, because it's probably me.
Pretty much guaranteed you.
That's the thing. All right. So I will say until next week, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.